Comes with Android 13 installed, dual Hall effect joysticks, RGB lighting with active cooling, and it's capable of emulation through PS2, GameCube / also Switch games if you want to. Again, legalities. Be safe when you do that. But we're gonna go and open this thing up and take a look at it. I recently dove down the whole Android handheld market, and there's a lot of cool stuff you can put together. It does require more out of the box like interaction and setup than you initially think, but this one I think is in a really cool retro color layout. That's pretty sick.
Mini PSP vibes,
Mini
but
PSP?
like Game Boy colors.
So yeah, you have your traditional triggers right here. You also have some other buttons up here. We got the power button, volume, the joysticks, pretty cool. And it's compact. This is a single display handheld, so obviously it wouldn't be ideal for your DS dual screen style games, but any single screen game will work really well with emulation. Let's see how this thing powers on.
I just learned that's what DS stood for.
I also just learned that.
You didn't know DS stands for dual screen?
I never thought about it.
But you can see with this boot up screen, you can definitely tell there's some OLED action going on
Oh,
here.
yeah,
With
wow.
the deep blacks looks really cool. Having an OLED is pretty underrated for some of these retro games because one, with the emulators you'd run on this, you can definitely crank up the quality with some built-in upscaling, but then also to have the ability to have a really nice display that normally wouldn't come with it, really brings some new life to older titles.
And Zach, what price are we looking at on this one?
$191.
191 bucks. So, you know, I mean, hey, it's expensive, but you got to think compared to things like, especially how much the Steam Deck just went up in cost. That's pretty freaking cheap.
Yeah, and if you are someone who's just trying to play older emulation, this is definitely the way to go instead of going with like a Steam Deck, which is more for your PC games. This will be more for your retro games where you can load up a ton of different emulators for different consoles and has enough horsepower for the price to power most retro games. Let's move on to the next one.